Hello YouTube, how's everyone doing? It's Professional here. So today I have the ultimate beginner's guide for Red Dead Online, and I decided to make this guide because a lot of people have been asking me for it, and a lot of people are new to Red Dead Online, and Red Dead Online for PC is just right around the corner, so I figured this would help a lot of people out. And in this video, I'll be going over a lot of the basics in Red Dead Online, the basics to the roles, ranking up, weapons, cleaning, things like that, all general things that, new players might not know, and I hope that this guide helps people out. And if people have any other questions, comments, or concerns, anything that I don't cover in this guide, please let me know down below. So now, let's get started with this guide. So the first thing that I recommend is that people finish the single player story before they even play Red Dead Online, because the single player offers a lot of content. It's a great long story. It's probably the longest story that I've ever played in a game, and you will be familiarized with a lot of gameplay elements from playing the story alone. But once you finish a single player story and you're ready to hop into Red Dead Online, the first thing that I recommend you do is I recommend that you actually play the online story missions. This is not to be confused with the single player. I'm referring to the online story missions. Yes, the online also does have a story, and the story missions, they're not as much as in the single player, obviously, and some were actually released in DLCs over time. And there's basically three types of missions. There is the low honor missions, and these missions only spawn if you have low honor. There is the high honor missions, and these missions only spawn if you have high honor. And then there's basically the Jessica Leclerc missions, which are the neutral missions. And you want to try to play all of the missions. And the first time that you play each of these missions, you get a pretty big reward. As you can see right here, I completed one of the missions, you get a pretty big reward. Now the second time you play these missions, you don't get nearly that a reward. But you want to play these missions, play all of them. And if you're wondering, if you have a friend that has the high honor missions and the low honor missions unlocked, they can just invite you to them. You don't need to have that specific honor level, but the best way to get low honor is to just murder a ton of people. The best way to actually get high honor is to just complete bounty hunter missions if you have the bounty hunter license, but if you're a new player, you're probably not going to have access to the bounty hunter, so the best way to get high honor would probably be to complete a lot of stranger missions, especially high honor stranger missions. Now, when you complete all of these missions, you do all of them, you will probably have close to somewhere around $600, and you have a lot of gold stocked up. And with that gold, what you want to do, and the first thing that I recommend you get is I recommend you get the trader business. Now, the trader business is going to cost 15 gold. You're going to get a letter from Cripps at the post office. You meet him at whatever town, you get the letter from. You go to him, purchase that license. If you do not have 15 gold after completing all those story missions, then I highly suggest that you complete a few stranger missions. All you would basically need to do is just wait out the timer, complete the mission, and deliver the mission at the last minute for max payout and max gold. Then when you have those 15 gold, go and purchase the trading license from Cripps, purchase that from him, and the reason that I recommend starting up the trader first, before the bounty hunter and before the collector, is because the trader business, pretty simple, where you set up the business, and it will start producing for you. You're going to need a few things. You're going to need materials, which is basically just hunting in the world. Now, carcasses are always worth more. You deliver it to him. You can also deliver pellets, but remember, carcasses are worth more. And then you also need supplies, and supplies are different. These you will steal in missions, or you will complete specific hunting missions. Now, this is where honor actually plays a little bit of a role. If you have really low honor, you are almost always going to get steal missions. Steal missions are much better than the hunting missions, because the hunting missions, they're just absolutely awful. So if you're going to be doing steal missions, I highly suggest that you have low honor. And you want to do these steal missions early on because they will help you rank up. Each time you do a steal mission, that will give you 500 XP, and it will help you rank up the trader really, really fast. So do those steal missions. Make sure you do them. Later on, you can buy supplies, but early on, I highly recommend you do those steal missions. And when you are up to 25 goods, sell it. That'll give you around $93, I believe, for selling it with 25 goods. And then make sure to upgrade the wagon to 50 goods, and then upgrade the wagon to 100 goods. As you level up, you will unlock better wagons, you will save up money over time because you're playing the trader business, and you're doing other activities, you're probably doing those stranger missions along the way, so you will get some money doing that. Stock up on that, get those wagons, and also here's a really, really big tip, this is pretty important. Try to find people that need help selling their business. If you're in a lobby, you see a bunch of people in there, message a few people, ask them, do you need help selling your business? Because when you help somebody sell their business, and if it's a full business, if they're selling 100 goods, that person is going to be getting over $625, but you helping them will get $312 plus a ton of trader XP just for helping them sell. And even if you just help them do a resupply mission, if you help them steal supplies, that'll also give you a ton of XP. So anytime anybody asks you, hey, can you help me sell? Make sure you help them sell, because the rewards for helping people sell in this game are massive, much greater than what in GTA Online, for instance. And here's another tip for the trader. Because you're a low-level player, or you're just starting out, you're probably not going to have access to a lot of weapons early on, and the bolt-action rifle is one rifle that you really want to invest in, one gun that you really want to get early on. It's unlocked at level 7, one of the best guns in the game. And the bolt-action rifle will ensure a clean kill for a lot of animals in this game, a lot of larger animals. To get a clean kill, you go for a heart shot or a headshot. I personally recommend headshots because it's just much easier, but there is a way to ensure clean kills, even if you don't have the rifle and you want to kill an animal that requires the rifle for a clean kill. What you do is you lasso that animal. So you lasso like the elk here in this case, and you just use the knife, and you get that clean kill. And because you don't have the hunting wagon, you unlock the hunting wagon later on and you have to purchase it, you can actually lasso these carcasses. So you can lasso them. If the carcass is skinned, you cannot lasso it. So make sure the carcass is not skinned. I lassoed this elk here, and then I skinned it when I got near the camp, because you can't deliver the elk as a carcass. So I gave it to Crips as a pelt. And later on, you'll also unlock an ability where your perfect pelts and perfect carcasses will actually be worth more. But that's pretty much it there for the trader business. I have an extensive trader guide. I'll put that at the end of the video, and I also have an ultimate collector guide and an ultimate bounty hunter guide. I'll be basically talking about the basics of each role. I won't be going too much in depth because this is a beginner guide. As for the other guns, I recommend you get all of the guns eventually. Another gun that you're going to want to get early on is at level 12, you want to get the Lancaster Repeater. The Lancaster Repeater, in comparison to Litchfield, it's a little bit better in my opinion because it's more accurate. The Litchfield, it does a little bit more damage, but it's less accurate. I prefer the Lancaster, but they're still both pretty good firearms. You want to get every gun in here except 2. Do not get the rare shotgun. The rare shotgun is an absolute waste of money. It's the same thing as double-barreled shotgun, but you can't customize it. And do not get the high roller revolver. The high roller revolver is the exact same thing as double action revolver. It's just a different skin, and you cannot customize it. So avoid those 2 guns, but everything else in here you pretty much want to get. And you can also buy a holster where you can dual wield, but I highly recommend you get all the guns before you start dual wielding. As for the Bounty Hunter, I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I have an extensive guide for it, but it's pretty simple. Eventually, you will get 15 gold over time, and when you do, I recommend that you get the Bounty Hunter next after the Trader, because the Bounty Hunter missions are the only missions that will give you gold out of the roles. Collector won't give you gold, and the Trader won't give you gold. Those will only give you cash, so you'll be able to buy the Bounty Hunter license. And for the Bounty Hunter, basically it's simple. All you pretty much do is just take the target alive, lasso them. Early on, you should get the reinforced lasso. It is pretty expensive, I believe at $350, so if you can't get the reinforced lasso, just use the regular lasso, tie them up, put them on the back of your horse, bring them in. If you have 2 targets, you can put one on the back of your horse, and you can lasso the other one to the sheriff station, and just bring them in alive. Bring them in alive, more money, and also wait till the last minute. So wait until the last minute to deliver the targets, and that's pretty much it for the Bounty Hunter. At level 10, you unlock the Bounty Wagon, which you can store more bounties in, but that's pretty much it for the Bounty Hunter. I'll also have the Bounty Hunter, full guide at the end of this because I made an extensive guide about this one. The final role that we have on here is the Collector. Now the Collector, you can get this for free. It costs 15 gold like the other roles, but you can get the role for free if you collect all 52 playing cards on GTA Online. This is if you are a GTA Online player. If you are not, disregard this advice, but you collect all those cards, you should be able to purchase her thing for free. Now, anyways, moving on to this role, I recommend, getting the Trader first because that'll be producing in the background. Then you go for the Bounty Hunter after the Trader. You save up some 15 gold. You play those bounty missions. You get gold along the way, and you do daily objectives. 15 gold, you should be able to get it in no time. Once you get, the collector's bag from Madame Nazar, what you want to do at that point is use this guy's map called Jean Rupke. I will link his map down below. He made a really useful map, very useful for the collector. And make sure you also purchase the shovel from her. Purchase the shovel immediately from her because you can get that right away. The shovel will help you, dig up mounds that are above ground. Certain things that are underground that's not visible above ground, you won't be able to dig that up. You will need a metal detector. Eventually, when you rank up, get the metal detector, but starting out early on, you want to go for family heirlooms, flowers, bird eggs, and also tarot cards. Those 4, use Jean's map and go for them. Those you do not need the metal detector for. Eventually, when you get the metal detector, you can start going for other items like coins and lost jewelry. And take a look at this right here. I'm selling this to Madame Nazar. You can see just how much money I'm getting and how much you rank up from this. So this will also help you rank up, your ranks and your role ranks. so it'll help you out a lot. Collector will be making you a lot of money, but that's pretty much it for the roles. I also have the collector guide. I'll put that at the end of the video in case you guys want to see the extensive collector guide. So as you play Red Dead Online, you're going to notice that daily objectives play a pretty big role in this game. There's two types of daily objectives. There's the general ones, and the general ones, they can vary. There's like one right here where I'm swimming. There's other hunting ones. There's combat ones. There's almost always a showdown one. And there's the role challenges. And both of these you want to do. So anytime you have a daily objective that you think you can do it, because it's 200 XP each time, and you get 0.20 gold per challenge, plus a bonus if you complete all 7 in the general category for the first week. The second week, you get 0.30 gold each challenge. The third week, you get 0.40 gold, and the fourth week, you get 0.50 gold. So it does really stack up over time. You get a ton of gold from it, and the role ones, you really want to do those because you get 200 XP also towards your roles, and the roles, each role rank is 2000 XP, so they are pretty easy to rank up. So anytime you see a specific role challenge that you can do, complete it. And as you level up, you unlock a treasure map each 5 levels. And you want to get those treasure maps. They are going to be your best friend early on. You get them from the post office, you open them up, you go to the location, it's this big yellow blob, and when you get pretty close to it, your controller starts shaking. Now, if you're on the PC, because the PC version hasn't come out yet, it's coming out tomorrow, I don't know what it's going to do on the PC. Maybe it'll do a blinking animation on the screen, or maybe if you're playing with a controller, it'll also shake there. But on consoles, it does shake the controller. And you can also use Eagle Eye, and when you're staring right at it, you'll actually see this glowing yellow mist right above it. You go up to it, you open it, and you can get a decent amount of money. You see right here, I got over $100, and I got 1 gold bar. So every time you level up, go to the post office, pick up those treasure maps, collect the treasures, easy money there, easy gold, will help you out tremendously each 5 levels. Another tip that I can give is to stock up on gun oil, because every firearm in Red Dead Redemption needs to be cleaned after some use. To get gun oil, you need to get it in the general store or the gun store, and to check the condition of the gun, you just basically need to go into gun wheel and look at condition, and then you just press R3 on the PS4, or you press the stick on the Xbox One. I'm not sure what the button would be called on the Xbox, but it should give you the prompt to clean it there. And some people, they clean their guns when they're just a little bit dirty. I don't recommend it. I think it's a waste of it's a waste of gun oil. Guns, when they're not clean, they're going to do a little bit less damage. They're going to have a slower fire rate and a slower reload time. I recommend cleaning them personally when they're like just a little bit under half. When they're just a little bit under half, that's when I clean it personally, not to waste the gun oil. Now, another thing that I really wanted to talk about was cores. Now, a lot of people to this day still don't understand how cores work, and cores are extremely important in the single player and also in the online. Now, the cores are that little icon right above the map in the bottom left of your screen. So you see you have three cores right there. You have the heart core for basically health, you have that little lightning bolt for stamina, and you have the eye there for Deadeye. Now, that white circle all around each core represents how much of that core you have. So you see right there, I jumped off that little hill cliff, and my health core decreased a little bit. So that means I lost a little bit of health, but it's regenerating. So that white circle all around represents how much health you have. When that's low, you're pretty much gonna die. Now, in the middle, that pretty much represents quality. So you see the heart is red. So my health core is pretty low right now. It's actually pretty bad. And to increase that, you would basically need to eat some food. There's also certain alcohol, and like, for example, cigarettes will restore Deadeye, but they'll also hurt stamina. Certain alcohols will also hurt stamina. There are a lot of items that will regenerate the cores, but some items have some negative effects and some positive effects. Other items have positive effects only. Now here I'm eating crackers because that was the only food that I had at the moment, but I highly recommend that you stock up on some food and always have some food to regenerate it. Now, if you have a pretty bad core quality, like there I had the red heart, that means that your health will regenerate at a slower rate. So you see right now, my core is all the way up there, and I jumped off the little cliff edge thing here, and I'm regenerating my health at a faster rate than when it was red. And stamina, the exact same thing happens. That's the lightning bolt. So you see right there, it's red. I'm going to be running right here, and it's going to regenerate at a slower rate. But also, having these cores at bad quality also has some other adverse effects. Like, for instance, if you would try to tackle another player, if your core is pretty low, it's pretty low in stamina, that player is probably going to beat you. And on the other hand, Deadeye, you want to keep that pretty high too. Because even if you don't use Deadeye, and I don't use a lot of Deadeye, but I like to keep that core high too. The reason that you want to keep that core pretty good, not in the red state, is because if you have bad quality of Deadeye, your accuracy is going to hurt. You're not going to be able to hit targets as straight. Your accuracy is going to be pretty messed up. So you want to keep Deadeye also at a pretty high core. And on top of that, there's certain, things in this game, tonics, like chewing tobacco, and even like food from the stew pot that will give you golden cores. Now, golden cores, those are basically the best kind of cores that you can have. Those are superior, the best types of cores. Certain objects will also give you golden cores, so whenever you have golden cores, especially the stew pot, you do really want to take advantage of it, but if you have a lot of tonics saved up, don't use them unless you really, really need to, like especially in combat situations. Also, for horses, there are cores for them as well. There's the health core, and there is the stamina core. Now, there are certain, stimulants that you can buy for the horse, but, the easiest way to fill up your horse's cores are just to feed it. Just be on your horse, go into the menu, feed your horse, restores its stamina and its health. It's basically the same concept. If your horse's stamina core is pretty bad, your horse, it's going to be slacking. It's not going to be as good, so you want to keep that up high. Also, in regards to fighting other players in this game, have defensive mode on, especially for new players, because defensive mode, basically what it does is it puts other players into free aim. So if they try to kill you, they have to be put into free aim. They will be marked as the aggressors, so it's a lot easier to deal with them. If they do kill you, you can parlay them, and the biggest difference between, passive mode and defensive mode in this game is that in defensive mode, you can still do the majority of missions, you can still use guns, just other players are going to have a hard time, going after you. When you parlay them, they can't kill you for 15 minutes no matter how hard they try, so it is very friendly to stopping griefers. And as for ability cards, there's a lot of ability cards in this game. I'm not going to go over each ability card because there is just so many of them, but just pick whatever ones work for you. But one that I highly recommend everyone have is Never Without One, because you can survive a headshot if you have your hat on. So if they shoot directly at your hat, you will survive. If they shoot you in the face, you will die. But if they shoot you in the hat will fall off, but you will survive. And eventually, as you level up each ability, you will be able to rank it up. You can only pay in cash each time, and it'll increase its effects. So there are a lot of ability cards. Pick early ons, ones that you think will be helpful for you, and upgrade them over time, and mix them up over time. That's what I do. I've been trying to experiment with different playstyles here, but always have the hat one on. That's one that I think everyone should have. Moving on to crafting. Crafting plays a pretty big role in this game, and you get your pamphlets from the fence, and the ones that I personally recommend getting are the Express Explosive Pamphlet. That one, will provide explosive ammo for you. There's also explosive slugs, but I think Express Explosive Pamphlet is more useful because you can pretty much craft it for all guns, and then eventually you want to get that for shotguns. But I highly recommend you get this a little later on because it is $1,000, so you do got to save up a lot of money. But one that you really want to get early on is a split point ammo pamphlet. And basically what this does is it lets you craft regular bullets into split point bullets, which do a little bit more damage. You don't need anything else except regular bullets. As for explosive rounds, you need express ammo, so you already need that from the gun store, and you need animal fat. The best way to get animal fat is to just kill pigs. There's a bunch of animals that have fat, but I personally find the easiest way is to kill pigs. There's actually a pig pen right here near Flatneck Station, right here that I'm looking at the map. You just lasso them, kill them, and skin them, and you can get the fat from them, then use that to craft explosive ammo. Now, for explosive ammo, I recommend that you only use this on sales. Like when you have like a trader sale, that's the only time I really find it useful, because it does require, one animal fat is one bullet. And animal fat, it's not that common, so I recommend using it for, trader sales. Split point ammo, again, just use the regular ammo crafted. As for the other ammo in this game, the general ammo, there's express and high velocity. High velocity ammo is better at longer ranges, while express ammo, it's better at close ranges. It does more damage at close range. High velocity bullets can actually go through multiple targets a lot of times. They just do more damage at longer range. So if you're going for longer range, use high velocity. If you're going for close range, use express ammo. As for the other things that you can craft, you can also, craft tonics, you can craft coffee, food items. There's a lot of things that you can craft. Certain things you can only craft at a campfire, other things you can just craft in the world. On the PS4, this would be triangle. Just hold triangle down. On the Xbox One, I'm guessing this would be Y. I'm not sure what key this would be on the PC, but just keep in mind, some things you can craft near the fire, other things you can only craft in the world. I don't really craft tonics. The only thing I really craft is ammo personally, because I find a lot of tonics in the world, but if you want to craft tonics and different food items, you do have that option here as well. Now, another tip to rank up pretty quickly in this game is you want to go to the Progress tab and you want to go to Awards. And when you go to Awards, you want to search through all the different roles. You know, there's Bounty Hunter, Collector, Trader, but there's also other ones like Sharpshooter, Combat, Trader, Travel. There's just so many different ones here. And basically, each challenge that you think you can complete, just pin it. Pin it. The ones that you don't think you can complete, just ignore them. The ones that you think you can reasonably complete over time, pin those, and you want to pin a lot of them. And then once you pin a lot of them, you have them right in your interaction menu. You go right down here to pinned, and you can keep an eye on them. And whenever you complete one, you'll rank up and get a ton of XP from it. And when you complete, the full set, the full challenge, you'll get 500 XP. And then what you can do at that point is you can go into the challenge tab again, the awards tab, I should say, and just reset it. And when you reset it, you get 0.40 gold, so this is a really good way to rank up, and also a really good way to get some extra gold. Another thing that I wanted to talk about was random events. Now, there's a lot of random events in this world. Like in this case, they had a hostage at this camp. I found it, and you can find these random events by like a blinking white dot that's appearing on your map. You go there and you complete that event. In this case, it got $10. There's other ones like defend the camp, rescue a stranger. There's also ambush ones. There's so many different ones, and these are a good way to get some extra XP and some extra money. So whenever you see them, try to take advantage of them. The last thing that I'm going to talk about in this video is the free mode events, and these, you will get an invite in your interaction menu, and a lot of them are good. I'm not going to talk about every single one because there's just so many of them. Like this one, Master Archer, I like a lot, where, you try to score the most amount of points, with a bow and arrow. There's other ones like roll ones specifically, those you really want to do early on because they'll help you rank up your roll. Trade route is the best one by far in my opinion because that one will actually guarantee you goods in your camp. So whenever you complete that one, if you survive till the very end, you will get 18 goods. All you pretty much need to do is just survive on this train. You want to try to do all of them. A lot of them are good. Some of them aren't too great, like Dispatch Rider. If you ever get that one is pretty awful because everybody's fighting to get one horse and they're constantly shooting each other off. And even if you deliver it pretty quickly, you don't get that much money. I got first place in it. I won it pretty quickly once and I got like $3. So that one is pretty horrible, but that is pretty much it for this guide. If anybody has like any other questions, about Red Dead Online, how things work in this game, please post them down below. I'll try to reply to as many people as I can. I hope this guide helped a lot of people out. If you enjoyed it, drop a like, and if you're new to my channel, enjoy my content, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care, everyone.